All right, so we're gonna walk through a listing transaction from start to finish. I am going to minimize all of your lovely faces. So if you have a question, please just shout it out as we're going along. I will pause and see if anyone has any questions. So if you want to keep the flow better, just write it down and wait till I ask for questions if that works better for you. But let's dive in. So we have a listing. We want to get this paperwork ready to go. Let's get started. So we're going to go into SkySlope. And just to show the two, if you don't have this bookmarked, I would bookmark this, whether you do bookmarks or you save it on your desktop, however you like to have your links just set up for you. I would just do that. But just to show you the two ways that we can get into SkySlope. We have the attic. So if you have the attic, that's where you go to, sign into stuff. You're going to go to references. And here we go, SkySlope right here. If Engage is your dashboard, then SkySlope is going to be right up here on the top. And then you can always go to skyslope.com. There'll be login, and you want to make sure you do SkySlope Suite. So pick the one that works best for you. That's how I got onto the screen and I signed in. It's going to take me to my dashboard. So we're going to go up to apps and go to forms. We always start in forms. That's where we grab our forms. That's where we can get them e-signed or, just get them all together, fill them out. And so we're just going to go in and create a new file, which will be to the upper right. Right here, new file. And then we're doing a listing. So I'm going to click seller. I can put if my client is a company or trust, organization name, representatives. But for this example, I'm just going to have this be TJ Tester. And I'm going to put in my email address because I'm going to walk through Digisign as well. If there was someone else, I could do additional contact, fill out the information, keep going, but I'll just remove and we'll just have our one seller right now. And so then the address, I can just put in this information here. You will note you can import MLS data here. If it was like if the past MLS data maybe has a good starting point for you. But we can also just come in here and fill it out. Here we go. And then how would you like to name your file? So just so you know, toggling in between this just basically reads this field and your client's name field. You don't have to have one of these clicked. It just helps it be quicker for you, depending on if you like to name your files address or primary client. Forms, anything where SkySlope Forms is in the upper left-hand corner. Forms is completely your organizational preferences. The company does not care how you name your files, how you organize your files. Anything in Forms is just yours. The company won't really get involved until it moves to that signed paperwork and transactions. So Forms, however it works best for you. I'm going to choose to name this with the address and then the person's name for searching purposes. We can go through this and get some personal templates if we have those set up. We will be looking at that a little bit later. Not today, but down the road. And so I'm just going to grab North Carolina listing documents resale. You would just find the one that fits you. We can see in here, we got some of the MLS forms being brought in. We're going to do create. And then here's our file. So up at the top, we have our tabs, forms. These are going to be all the forms that we pulled in for this transaction, whether it's just that template I pulled, whether I needed to add some more forms from the library. Maybe if I want to look at Canopy, so we have that, Canopy coming soon, I'll add that and click next. Make sure you always click next to the bottom right. Or whether I upload documents, maybe I have some PDFs that I need to get signed. I can upload them from my computer here. Or if I wanted to just, maybe apply another template that had some other documents in there. Or maybe I wanted to add those Canopy MLS forms. I just grabbed the coming soon, but we'll pull it in again. And so this portion right here is going to just have all of your forms in it. You can come in here, you can delete or download any of them individually here if you want. But if we're ready to kind of now pull together our files, we can just grab, I'm just going to grab this. We can grab the Canopy coming soon form. Maybe we will grab the exclusive right to sell. So we'll grab these three, but you could just go through and check mark all your forms that you want in here. And then we're going to fill and send. This is creating that basically that subfolder in your file where you have all your documents together. And so over here to the right, we're going to see the forms that are in this packet that we're creating. I can get rid of any if I chose the wrong one. I can add forms at the bottom from this file, from the forms library, or upload it from my computer if I forgot one. And here we go. I can just come in here and I can just, do all my check boxes here. I can check on this is my seller, and maybe I want to fill out some more information on him. I can do that if I wanted to, or add that other person if there was another person and I didn't put it in the beginning. Your information should auto-populate here from your profile. And so we'll just continue down. We can say expires on 30th. I'm just going to come down here, fill just some random dates and things out here. This will open up and I can type items in here just to kind of show you, filling some things out. Price 50. Here we go. I'm just filling some things out. I'm just on random numbers here. Don't fill out forms like I fill out forms. But we're just looking at some things to kind of just show you filling out. Here we go. Maybe we're doing that coming soon. We're doing all of these. Do this. So you see, you're just going through doing the check boxes. All right, so I'm going to speed it up now that I've kind of shown you all the different types of filling out that you can do here. We'll get to that next form. So here's just the coming soon here. We got our initials. There we go. And so here's this form now or this packet that now I want to get signed all together with all my paperwork. It's all filled out. It looks nice. It's all typed in. And we're going to do prepare signature. Here, I can name my envelope specifically if maybe I was just doing coming soon docs. If for some reason I wasn't sending out everything together and I was sending it out, they were a little bit different. Maybe I was just doing some of the listing and then you know, maybe later on they decided they wanted the home warranty during this process or whatnot, we could add that on later and we would just put, you know, home warranty or something specific, just so you know what's in this packet. Here we have needs to sign or no action. I will say here, just to walk through, if people want to download things as one single PDF and they don't want to zip it, then the best way to do that is to continue this process. You would just put no action under your seller. And then we can just show how when you just push it through and then it goes to you to sign, you can just download that single PDF. But we're right now going to keep this needs to sign because I want to walk through the Digisign process. So we're going to do next. And this is Digisign. So most forms are going to be pre-mapped out. So these forms are all going to be pre-mapped out with where signatures need to be or initials. And then I'm going to just come down to this canopy form because that's not, we're still working with MLSs to bring in their forms in a way that maps it out. So right now, if you're using this coming soon, you're going to have to make sure that you map this out. So if we need the seller's initials, I would come up here, I would change my signer. So here's where I can change my signer. And then here's the actions I have connected to my signer. So I can just click on initials and I can put them in there. Here you'll notice this block has opened up where I could delete, I could make it optional, but I could just keep doing that where I wanted to here and just go through and put initials in like all the spots where it needs to go. Here we go. If I needed to put the property address for this, I could come in here and put 123 Testing Street. I could put as much as I wanted there, move it around, grab this signature for my seller here, move the date over. And so that's kind of just how you could map this around. I need my signature, so I'm going to move it to me. Well, first I'm going to exit out of this block. I don't want it to have that editing block open. So I'll just get out of it and then I can move it to me and I can grab my signature here. Signature, date. And so that's kind of just playing around with initial signature, what you wanted to do with that. And then recipients. So if there was someone, I want to click these three dots. Three dots usually mean menu. I'm going to click that, do edit. And here, if I notice an email was wrong, I can come in here and I can edit, fix this email. Everything is defaulted to just go out to everyone at the same time. But for this instance, you could do a different signing group here. Or if I wanted to add someone and I just want them to receive a copy, I can do that there. And so that's kind of Digisign, filling out your forms and doing Digisign. Any questions? Second to pop up, make sure chat. It's a little hard for me to see chat. Okay, so I'm going to keep going, but we can also go over questions at the end too if there was something that you had. But right now I'm going to send this out. I could save and exit if I wasn't quite ready yet. I'm going to send it out. I can customize my email subject line or email message. This is just the default, letting them know you have documents to sign. Your documents are ready to review and sign. Send for signatures. So here we go. I'm going to click sign now. So this is where if you just wanted to download that one PDF and you put that your seller had no action. They weren't signing, so they're not going to receive an email or anything. You could just do I agree. And then down here with signing actions, download single PDF. Here you go, one PDF that you could just print out, and then you can hand sign. You could electronically sign here if you wanted, or you can just print this all out and bring that with you as your packet. You don't have to deal with zip files. But we're going to continue Digisign. So I'm going to I can click start, or they can just kind of search for their first initial. And then the first time they click in, it's going to ask them to pick a font, or they can draw their signature or initials. You see exactly what they're going to see, so you can coach them through if they need a little help. Use the signature, and then it's going to let them know what's required. Say if they're exploring the document and they're like, wait, I wanted to read something here, and maybe they skipped a couple. That's fine. It's going to bring me back to sign these if I miss one. So down here, we can see 5 out of 14. It's letting me know how many required fields I've done, how many are to go. And this is all grayed out. I can't finish signing until I've done all the required fields. My signature. And here's this one that I missed. Now I have 14 out of 14. Let's finish signing. So here I could download my signed documents. Again, I have that option as a single PDF or that zip file. And then I'm going to click I'm done, just to show you kind of what this envelope now looks like. So here's this envelope where we did coming soon docs. It's signed by one of two. Here I can download as a single PDF individuals, get a certificate. I can resend this envelope where maybe my seller said they never got it. I did a typo in the email. I can just edit the email, fix that typo, and done, or I can send a reminder so it pops up for them again. Or when I went and signed it, I noticed this error, I could just cancel the signing. You know, just let them know, hey, I have to resend it to you on that. So again, we have our forms, we pull in all the forms, and we can make little packets that we call envelopes. We have this. So now I'm just going to go in as my client self. Get out of here. Here we have our training agent. Training agent sent me this, requested my signature. So now I am TJ. I am TJ Tester. I'm getting started. I'm going to sign these documents. You'll see it's the exact same thing that you as the agent did. So easy to walk them through. They can just start. They're always going to have that option to choose or draw. And then they're just going to keep going. They can explore all they want. It's not going to let them miss any signature that you put as required. We can see this one was optional. I could have gone in here and say, you know, I talked with my seller. This is, you know, not optional. We decided this was good, or this was the option we are going with. I could make this required. So here we go. So maybe I would have made this one required, and I would have made this one, you know, just deleted this one. You have the option to do that with optionals versus required. Here we go again. If we talked and I was doing these two, I could have made these two required and deleted the optional option here, just to make sure that they are filling everything out how you want them to and how you discussed it with them previously. I'm just gonna do this. Here we go. Now I have my 21 out of 21. I'm gonna finish signing. This will send an email to both the client and yourself that your envelope is completed. They can download their signed documents for their own record as well. But now we can see here my envelope is completed. So we have our signed paperwork. We're ready to submit it to the company, let them know, and make sure all of our paperwork is in order for this. So now that we have signed paperwork, we're ready to actually submit paperwork. We're going to go into apps and we're going to go into SkySlope. So forms, pulling your forms together, filling them out, getting them signed. SkySlope, making sure, submitting into the company, making sure all your paperwork is in order. So once we're in SkySlope, again, I went up to apps in the top right. That's how I toggle in between forms and SkySlope. I'm going to do create listing. We have our friendly Sky listing file assistant, and I'm going to say, hey, let's enter the listing. It should default over here to forms rather than the address lookup. And so I can just come down here and 456 Testing Street, TJ Tester, great. Next question. So that's going to now connect my file and this transaction, which is great. I'm going to choose what type. It's just a North Carolina resale. This is just letting the company know so they know what paperwork to request. A lot of this stuff is going to just auto-populate from the forms. I didn't fill this out. This is what I was doing. Here's add co-listing agent. Anything co-listing, co-buyer agent in SkySlope, this is not MLS official. This is just for the company. And we'll go over that on the commissions tab. And we'll just do that. It will ask for the year built, just so the transaction processors know if you need that. You need that listing disclosure. Lead-based paint. There we go. Not listing. This whole thing's a listing. Lead-based paint disclosure. So that's why they asked for the year. Next question, and then we'll get a little summary. Does everything look right? Sold by TJ Tester. This simply, it just means that's your seller's name. It's getting sold by you, but that's just the wording they have for seller on here. And we're going to do create my listing. Now that we have this, it pulls us right into this checklist. So I can see right here, red means it's required. Blue just means if applicable. Once it is attached, so I can come over here, I can click attach. It's going to take me to, it's going to take me to the documents that I've done. I can click this one, assign. It's going to go yellow. So this means it's going to the transaction processors. They have the option to return it to you purple, saying it's incomplete, and there'll be a comment as to why it is incomplete, so you know. Or it's green, complete, you're good to go. If you accidentally attach the wrong one, and they've not reviewed it yet, you can remove document. The paperclip means I can just view the document that I have attached to this at any point in time. And I can write my own comment about this as well, if there was something in particular. Something specific. Save. So here we go. I can just attach, perfect, assign, and then I have this one. I could also just assign and just kind of go through, and all my files are there. Go through and just grab all of this information. So just to go over the documents tab, any signed documents that you do in that file that we created, so say you need any more forms, something came up, maybe you need to do an addendum, you're going to go apps, you're going to go into forms, pull that file and send it through, because that file is married, attached to this listing transaction now. So that anything that gets signed will populate over here. I can also upload documents from my computer in here, or there's this specific email here. So if my client sends me, you know, maybe they filled out and signed the property condition disclosure and they send it to me as a PDF. If I just forward that email to this specific email, it's going to go right into this listing. And it would populate right here. So that's the 3 different ways you can get documents in here. Also, if you are maybe uploading a large document, let's go, this is a contract, so it's a bad example for a listing. But say I just opened and I pulled in this PDF that has it has all the documents connected to this listing. I can rotate it, I can rename it, or I can choose to split it. And so right here, it's going to display my document. It's going to show me, contract. So let's just say I started typing in, this was the exclusive right to sell listing agreement. It's going to just populate right over here, the checklist item that I want to attach to this. And I can just go down and I can see, okay, so up here, 3. Page 1 through 3 is this exclusive right to sell. Then I start getting into a disclosure. So I see here, this is my disclosure, page 4. I could say page 4 through 5 is this disclosure, or maybe it was just a 1-page disclosure. And so this is a different disclosure. Now the mineral is the last page right here. Then I would just do split and assign. I could go to my documents, or I could go to checklist, and it's going to just split my documents, put them right into the checklist for me. And then under documents, you'll see I have that original file still here, but then I also have what got split. And I don't even have to split it. So say maybe there was one random document in there that didn't need to go on the checklist. I didn't need to attach all of them to the checklist. I could have just named it my own thing and not pop up on the checklist items populated. So I could have just said, this is contract, no checklist, and then I can just choose split. And if I go here, it's still contract, no checklist right here for me. So that's kind of your documents. If I want to move this out, if I like organize, I can move this into the trash if it's not attached to anything. And so that's kind of your listing. Are we all set to move into an accepted contract now? Because we know those happen fast on listings. So any questions on checklists or documents for this listing? You can see additional addenda, miscellaneous documents. You can attach more than one document to a slot. That's why they just kind of made these generic for you guys. Make sure there's no chat. It's a little hard for me to see chat, so. Okay, so that's our listing. We let the company know. Hopefully we have a beautiful green checklist where we have everything completed and good to go, or we at least are working on those documents that we still need. And now we're going to go accepted contract. So basically it's just going to walk through and it's going to need some information about this accepted contract. We can put in the price. Really, you're just looking for these red asterisks. Date, closing date, this red asterisk here. Oops. And then the type of checklist is most important, again, because it's letting the processors know what paperwork that you need. So here we have, North Carolina, under contract resale, buyer represented. I want seller represented. So here we go. And next. Oh, what was it today? Here we go. And then it's just going to ask for some of the information here. I have this green check mark, this red asterisk, meaning I need something. buyer, save, and then red asterisks, testing agent from testing company, save. Here we go. Now that I have these 3 little happy green check marks, anything else I could fill out, but that's completely up to you. The company just needs what's the red asterisk, and then I could submit this. So then we would get into the commission side of things, where if it was a personal deal, I could say, if for any reason the check I'm submitting to the company is different by any amount to what they're expecting, I could put that in here and then scroll down, and there's this huge paragraph area where I can explain why. Maybe I bought the home warranty for them or something, or this is why the check is different than what you're expecting. That would go here. If we were holding the earnest money, we could just fill out that information here. The due there. Additional deposits you could put in here. Referral is required just because basically it's really messy to do referrals after a deal's closed. So the company is just requesting you take 1 second just to think if there's any referrals attached to this deal. And then you could either choose external, internal, or just say no referral. Again, you have this option to talk directly to them, anything about the commission information. And then down here, if I had put a co-listing agent in SkySlope, which SkySlope is just for the company, not MLS. Here, if for some reason someone helped me out, if they were getting a percentage or a dollar amount for doing something to help me with this deal, I could just put that in here to let the company know. Any questions on the commission tab? Okay. So I'm just going to click submit. And then we'll see the checklist. So now I have all my sale documents that I need, my closing documents, and then if I keep going down, I'll still see all my listing documents checklist. So that's what I could check for this. But if there was, the paperwork that got submitted to you and you needed your sellers to sign it, what that would all be done, forms. You would find, here's this person. I could upload that PDF. So say I just uploaded the contract, which is a really bad example of a PDF. But here's that contract that got submitted. Now I'm just going to come down here, grab it, fill and send. So see here, so we can actually see it better. There we go. Anything here, prepare signature. Here we go. I'm just going to say I need to sign it just for not wasting our time. We ran a little bit over. But then I can just come in here and say here they need to sign here. This normally wouldn't be this small, but it's because it's a landscape. It's a bad example. But here they could sign right here. I could go through the document with that and then you send them for signatures, just to show you that it will show up in your documents. Oh, sorry, that was my mouse pad acting all funny. Okay, I'm going to go back to forms because my mouse pad ruined this. You can see So I could just go into that email and sign it. But because this is actually sent to training agent email instead of mine, I can't actually show that. So I'm just going to grab this again and do it real fast. Here, let me just grab this one instead. This will be easier to show you. Here. Fair signature, this is a normal one, not a wonky one. And just there we go. I'm just going to say I need to sign here. See, this is more normal, and I don't have to zoom or unzoom. Send for signatures, sign now. I agree. Sign, choose my font, use the signature, finish signing. I'm done. So now this will be completed here. And then if I was back in SkySlope managing, listing is under contract now, or actually let's just use the search button. That would be good. Here we go, pending. I could go straight into documents. So that's why the search button is cool. Here we have that I just did. So just to show you that that file for forms and this listing / now transaction is married together. So if I need to send out any forms for my client to sign, I just do it in that listing file in forms, and it's going to come over here so I can fill out this checklist. And then hopefully you have the notification set up for like, let me know 5 days before this closing. I could come in here and just make sure my checklist is all green and good to go. Or make sure I get any kind of missing paperwork that I have, just to ensure that the closing goes smooth and I get paid as quickly as possible. So any questions on that? That was going through the listing side from start to finish here.
Where can we get this recording?
Yep, I will put it on my YouTube channel, and then I can post it in Chatter later today for you guys.
Perfect, thank you.
Yep. We can walk through that. And then that list, or my YouTube, I've also done just little short 2 to 5 minute videos walking through a listing or a selling transaction as well. So if you don't want to search through the 40 minutes that I've been talking to get to the spot you want to go to, you could just go specifically to that one little 2 to 5 minute spot. And of course, call me, text me, email me, set up a one-on-one with me. I'd be more than happy to walk through anything or answer any questions while you're walking through something yourself. So just let me know, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your Monday.
Thanks,
Bye,
Natalie.
Thank you, Natalie. Bye.
Appreciate it.